So I'm going to be working on the hand target here in a second. I'm just going to ask her to back up, and we're just using a voice cue and a little bit of a body cue there. So I've kind of faded out the target a little bit, at least in this situation. So she's kind of a little distracted there. I'm just going to ask her to back with my voice cue, and she did a couple of really nice backup steps there. So I'm just going to click and reinforce as she's going back. So now I'll work on the hand target. There she's can bring her cheek to me, and then we're going to start working like a little bit further down her face and on her neck. This is just like a pretty good angle to show that, so kind of right in the middle there. I'm just going to hold up my hand and then ask her to target. So like later on I can add different words to that. I can have like cheek or ear and neck, so different things so she knows what body part, and I can put my hand over that body part to kind of differentiate which one she's supposed to do. So I just have like her ear here. So it looks pretty good. Like she kind of struggled with this. She really wanted to put her nose, just her nose on the target because that was what she was used to. But now she's really starting to get it and bring that head to me and the neck to me. So it's really coming together. But this was one of the things like she missed there. So I'm just going to take a break, try again. Perfect. Now she gets it. One of the things that I did in Mustang Maddie's course, and I was doing that with Castor, but I wanted to just do it with her as well. So here we are a little bit later, also working on the neck target. I've got my handheld target though to help me out. So you probably won't be able to see it, but I'm trying to work on the neck, and she's a little bit confused. So I'm having my hand as the target by her neck, and then I'm using my handheld target, which you see my right hand, so that she wants to bring her nose to it, and in going to that handheld target, she'll touch her neck to my hand. That was what I was trying to do here. But fortunately you can only see like a little bit there. That's a little bit better. So on her way to get her nose to the target, she'll touch her neck to my hand, and I'll click and reinforce. Because she was struggling with getting her neck to me, so I brought the handheld target back out to help her out a little bit. Because you saw in the last little clip that she looked like she was getting it pretty good. And then this is the other side, so she might have just been better on that side. But she started to struggle again, so instead of continuing to ask her and she just can't figure it out or doesn't know, I make it a little bit easier, and so I bring the handheld target back out. So I'm just going to let her hang out for a second, get into position so we can see. I'm going to use my hand first, so she's a little busy there, so I'm just going to pause and then try again. Hand up. See, she's thinking maybe lunge. She's just a little confused. That was close. I probably should have clicked a little bit sooner as she was starting to move that neck over to me. But she's just not quite sure what it is that I want. Like here, I put my hand target up and she's just not getting it. I think I should have probably brought my hand closer to her face and worked on the face. So I'm like, hey, we're doing the face target, and then move down her neck instead of continually trying to ask her on the neck. What I did here instead was just work on her touching the target, because she didn't seem like she was real interested in doing that either. So both good options to do, because then she's more willing and wanting to touch the target, the handheld target, and then I can go ahead and work on that hand target. So I'm going to wait till her head's straight, and then I'll ask with my hand here. Bring out the handheld target there, and then she, on her way over to the handheld target, she touches my hand. My hand up, bring out my handheld target, and then I'll click when she touches my hand with her neck. So she's starting to get it now. So that did help when I just had like presented the handheld target and had her touch that. That seemed to work pretty good. And then again, I could always go back a couple steps and bring my hand closer to her head. Good, that was nice. So that's a good example of just like she wasn't getting it. She was offering me other behaviors. She was clearly confused. So I made it easier for her, and now she can be successful. So I'm just going to turn her around so the camera can see here. Do this other side. So good. So now I'm going back to that cheek that she understands pretty well, and then I'll build it back up to her neck targeting. Good. So the goal of this would just be what I wanted this behavior to be would be her side passing to me. So my goal was that she could bring her neck to me, and then she could bring her shoulders to me, and then she could bring her hips to me. So, um, like I think that thinking, see again, she's a little confused with this. Like she could see her pawing there. I need to make it a little bit easier there. So I could again go back to her touching that handheld target, or go back to her cheek and her figuring it out. There, she's actually getting it. Um, I mean, she'd have that moment there. I wouldn't get too worried about it. I would definitely take note and make sure that she's not being too frustrated. Like there we go. That was actually really good. Like she took a minute there, but she could have just been busy eating, and then she actually did step over nicely. But what I was saying was, I think what I would have done differently now is taught her to move over with just the target with the shoulders, which you'll see with my mini horse later, and then I'll use the lead rope to do the hips. But I feel like this was a little bit harder way to do it, but I wasn't really sure what I was doing. I'm just going to do it on the other side here again, and then call it a day. But this is just us trying to experiment and figure out the behaviors.